All right, everybody, let's talk about the video here for lesson number 5, constructing a perpendicular bisector again. So essentially in this lesson, what we're looking at is that we have this perpendicular bisector construction that might help us actually do other stuff. So in number 1, it says in the diagram below, we have a circle who has center at B, which we could see in the picture, and a diameter is drawn and extended through the circle. So notice that diameter keeps going through the circle here. It then says construct a line perpendicular to the diameter at point C. So essentially we want to construct a perpendicular line somewhere over here. So C is the point I want to go through. So whenever we're trying to construct a perpendicular line through a particular point, we want to make it so that the circle, or the original circle, goes around that point. So I'm going to start by opening up my compass and making a semicircle or a circle around C. What that should do for me is clearly indicate 2 points, one here and one here. Now, if I create the perpendicular bisector between those 2 points, I should create a perpendicular line that goes right through C where I want it. So I'm going to take my compass, I'll just use a different color here, and I want to open it up from one of these 2 points and make it so that it's a little bit bigger than half and make an arc. I'll make that from one point and I make it also from the other. Same exact size arc. Now these 2 points of intersection I've just created here and here, if I connect them with a straight line, I should go through point C. A little bit of human error there, which is totally fine. We are close enough. So we have this line goes through point C and is perpendicular to that line segment BC. Number 2 is also a perpendicular bisector question. If you look back at your notes, there are 2 examples where we had a line and a point sitting on top of the line, and we drew a perpendicular line through this point. This is the same exact construction. RS is the line, and T is the point. We just have T connected to R and to S, making it a triangle, but it's the same exact construction. So when I'm looking at that stuff, I just want to be able to kind of see through the picture a little bit, if you get what I'm trying to say there. So the first thing I would do here is I want to make a circle around T, because I want to make it so that I have a perpendicular line that passes through T. So I'm going to open this up from T. Sorry to hear my dogs in the background, I'm sure. And I want to make it so that this line, this circle, intersects RS twice. Notice it doesn't. So just like the example in class, we can extend this line segment, RS. So we can extend RS so that it intersects 2 times. So now I'm interested in this point and this point. Now if I take my compass and open it up so that it's more than half the distance between R or that point and the other point, which it already is, I can make a mark there, and then I can make a second mark from the other point. If I do this, I should be able to draw a straight line then that should come from T straight down, and make sure that we put some arrows on that line. All right, we want some arrows on that line, and we're all set. Number 2 says an isosceles triangle is a triangle that has 2 congruent sides. An isosceles triangle has a right angle, and says using the segment below as one of your congruent sides, construct an isosceles right triangle. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make either angle A or angle B a right angle. So I'm going to make angle B the right angle. To do that, I first have to draw a circle that goes around the angle of the point I want to go through. So I'm going to start by taking my straight edge, my compass, and I'm going to make a circle around B, or a semicircle around B. Now notice that only intersects the line once. I want it to intersect twice. So I'm going to extend my line slightly here so that it intersects twice. So I'm just going to kind of redraw this. Hopefully a little bit better than that. Let's see. So it intersects twice. So I have this point here and this point here. If I bisect that segment between those two green points I've made, I'm going to get a vertical line that goes through B, right? So let's do that in purple. So I'll start by putting the compass in one of these points of intersection, making it bigger, and making two arcs. One from one point of intersection and one from the other. If I connect that with another straight line, it goes through B. So now what we have here is this straight line that I don't know how long to make, right? I can make it shorter, I can make it longer. The thing is, if it's isosceles, it has to be the exact same distance as A to B. But right now we've already satisfied one thing. So one thing that we know for sure is that this is a right angle. So if I can figure out the distance from A to B, well, how could I find a distance using a compass? I could just measure it, right? So if I measure the distance from A to B, and make a mark, wherever that red mark intersected, that's going to be what we'll call point C. So then if I use my straight edge here, and we'll use like an obnoxious green color here, this obnoxious green line and this obnoxious green line and this obnoxious green line creates a right triangle that's also isosceles. So in this picture, I know angle ABC is 90 degrees, and I know that AB is congruent to BC, congruent, same size. That part you didn't have to write, but these are the things that I now know because of this construction. Hopefully this video helped. If you are having trouble with any of the constructions we've done in class, or you didn't do so hot on that first quick quiz, please make sure you go back and rewatch the video so that you're starting to see how to do the constructions, right? Because we are going to kind of start to move on away from them, and it will come back to them. In geometry, nothing goes away. We kind of keep doing the same stuff over and over and over again. So please make sure that you're catching up what you've missed. Good luck.